always really hated math, and somehow I managed to get through calculus and physics, and I actually did really well in physics. It was the worst for me for pre-med classes, but you do have to know this stuff. There's only certain things that you need to know, like dimensional analysis, for example. I always just didn't like math, and it always just scared me, and I always just felt like, well, I'm not smart enough, so I can't do it, so I didn't try. But then when I realized that I wanted to be a doctor, I realized you're gonna have to do math and science and all these hard subjects, and you're gonna have to be able to do well. So when I started trying, I actually did well. And I still really just don't like math, and I don't like having to do math, but sometimes you need to do math, so I'm just gonna do a little review. Okay, so some patients might be on opioids that they take for chronic pain, and when they come into the hospital, they should still be on those medications. So I have a patient who takes morphine 30 milligrams daily, and the patient has an AKI. So you shouldn't give morphine to somebody with an AKI. You can give other opioids though, like fentanyl. And so they changed her from morphine to oxycodone. So we're gonna convert 30 milligrams of PO morphine into PO oxycodone. You can just Google it and see what the morphine equivalents are, and I have it on my blog as well, so I'll just show that and then show the dimensional analysis. So this is an example here. On the left hand side it's the different opioids, and the right hand side is the equivalents to 5 milligrams of IV morphine. So when you're looking at this, it's saying that if somebody takes morphine by mouth, 15 milligrams of oral or PO morphine is equivalent to 5 milligrams of IV morphine. Now, the patient I'm talking about takes 30 milligrams of PO morphine on a daily basis for her chronic pain. Because of her AKI, they're going to change her from morphine to a medication that's not as bad for the kidneys. So you can give oxycodone. So we're going to convert 30 milligrams of PO morphine to oxycodone and just figure out how much oxycodone we should give her that will be equivalent to the morphine that she takes at home. So this is the dimensional analysis you're going to do. For easy math, I just made it 10 milligrams of PO oxycodone rather than 7.5, just because that makes the math easier. And then you just do dimensional analysis, so you're canceling out the morphine and you're going to get oxycodone at the end. So you end up getting 20 milligrams of oxycodone, and that's what the patient got. So for my patient, that apparently didn't really help her, and because she's already taking chronic opioids, she has a tolerance to it, so you're gonna have to give her a little bit more. I decided to give her fentanyl because that's metabolized by the liver, so it won't affect her kidneys, and I gave her, you can start at 50 micrograms, but I gave her 25 micrograms just because I don't like giving a lot of opioids, and I always worry about respiratory depression. So maybe this is easy for some people, but for other people like me who are afraid of math, it might be daunting to look at that morphine milligram equivalence or whatever that table is and not really understanding how to use that. So hopefully that helped. Because also you really need to make sure you're giving a safe dose of medication. For somebody who's on chronic opioids, they'll probably be fine if you give them their home dose of medication, but they may actually need additional medication if they're having more pain than usual. But somebody who's opioid naive, who never takes medications like this, if you start them on too high of a dose, you'll depress their respiratory drive, and that's a dangerous thing. So you do have to know how to do these kind of things. I hope that helps.